Hey, Facebook Live. Thanks for joining me. This is Danielle Pierce. Listen, I have some information to share with you all today that it's kind of been, I've been holding in for a while, but I wanted to kind of put it out there to let everyone else know and kind of update you all about what's been going on in terms of my company and the success that it's had over the past several years. So I want to talk about today two things that have come from my company earning $1 million in revenue. Actually, it's over $1 million, but $1 million in revenue between 2014, 15, and 16. 2017, we're still in the middle of it. So I'll have those numbers at the end of the year, or actually early next year. But listen, the absolute biggest takeaway, period, is the fact that it expanded my mindset in terms of what's possible for my life, for my existence. I should be a statistic, like legitimately, I should be a statistic. Come from a single parent household, you know. My father obviously wasn't around, he kind of came here back and forth here and there. My earliest memory on this earth from when I was 2 years old is my father hitting my mother, and I was somewhere in the closet screaming and crying. The police came and knocked on the door, took him to jail. My second earliest memory is the people downstairs. That couple fought all the time too. And one night, the ambulance was there, and they were taking the woman out on a stretcher. Her name was Patty, I believe. And he had hit her in the head with a hammer. So she had this huge knot on her forehead. And I remember just being so scared, like, what the hell is going on? So those are my two various early memories in life. Pregnant in high school, right? Not ashamed to say it, by somebody who I knew I did not want to be linked to for the rest of my life, if I'm perfectly honest. I knew it then, and I for damn sure know it now. So, I had to deal with that. My father, was on drugs, alcohol. My mother, she struggled. When you're a single parent, there's a struggle, which is still a lot of single parents deal with right now. And the struggle is, do I work? Do I go out to work and leave my children and not have a babysitter, and earn minimum wage and kind of struggle? Or do I not work, collect government assistance, have everybody judge me and talk shit about me and talk about how I should go out and get a job? It was that way when I was a kid, and it's still that way now. My brothers, they kind of all went their different paths, had issues with drugs and jail and alcohol, etc. No network, no background, no entrepreneurs, that I could draw from or learn from or ask questions to, no cultural upbringing, like literally nothing. Any success that I've had just from sheer willpower and just desire and mindset and ambition. I'm learning now that that can only take you so far, meaning that, I've been a lone wolf, like my friend Thomas Stovall says. I've been a lone wolf for a lot of, for years, either out of fear or just being a control freak or just being used to doing things myself. But it does hinder your success at a certain point. And I'm at that point right now. So, I literally should be a statistic. I should not have had, any type of success. Definitely not owning my own business, and definitely not hitting $1 million in revenue in a 3-year time span. So when people tell me, why are you talking about that? Or, why you keep talking about that? I'm going to talk about that for the next 10 years. And trust me, I'm going to go on to do many more millions of dollars in revenue, right? I'm going to do that many times over. But the fact that a poor Black girl who grew up, with a single mom, and no type of assistance, no type of network, nobody, no hand held out to help her up, to pull that off is nothing short of amazing. And I'm definitely going to keep telling everybody, more so just to inspire people, to let them know what's possible. Like Les Brown talks about in his, in his speeches that he does. Like, it literally expanded my mindset in terms of what's possible. So before, you hear about people on TV or companies, they'll say things like, my company is $1 million company, or I've done $10,000 a month in revenue, and this, that, and the third. And, you don't believe them. And you don't believe them because, not necessarily because you think that they're liars, but because you don't believe it's possible for yourself, right? So when you don't think something is possible for you, you can't see it for anyone else. You feel like they can't do things because you don't know how to do them. So now that I've done it, I'm like, someone says, like someone in my Facebook group, Christina, she says, my company does $500,000 a year in revenue. I'm like, shit, great. Like, Tell me more about it. Like, what are you doing? Tell me how. There's no doubt. There's no, sideways looking. There's no shade. Like, I'm genuinely happy for her. And I really sincerely want to know how. That's what it does for you. It opens you up to the possibilities. So then when you hear about other people having success, you don't question it. You don't question it at all. You all, if you could do me a favor and like and share the video, that would be phenomenal. I just want to make sure I get this story out to as many people as I possibly can, if you don't mind. What else do I want to cover today? So again, sheer willpower, ambition, and drive, which came from, honestly, I don't know where, to be honest. I know that I read a lot. I do surround myself actively now with people who are doing the things that I want to do and have the things that I want to have. But from, when I was a young child, I don't know where that came from. Maybe it was just God, to be honest, or the creator, whatever you want to call it. I don't know where it came from. My mother, she did the best that she could with what she had, which is what all parents can do. That's what I'm doing. Anybody who's listening in or watching, that's what we're all doing. But for sure, she fell short, significantly short. But she did the best she could with what she had. But again, $1 million in revenue, 3-year time span, we're still ticking. And what we do is something, we just basically get contracts to repair and maintain bank-owned properties. That's what I do. Nobody showed me how to do it. I just kind of fell into it and figured it out. And I'm also showing other people how to do the same thing. There are people in my Facebook group right now who are, having the success that I've had, and I'm sure they'll go on to do bigger and greater things. So that leads me to my second point that I wanted to cover today. So aside from the fact that, it feels great to have $1 million in revenue and, do all these great things and be able to say that and see it on paper and show people, I've done that several times. An even bigger takeaway, to be quite honest, is the fact that I can show other people how to do the same thing. And I didn't realize that would be an even bigger takeaway, to be honest. Like, I wasn't in this necessarily for goodwill or to kind of make the world a better place type thing, to be honest. Like, I was just in it to make money. But to be able to lay out a blueprint and a path and kind of not be shady and hold information back and steer people the wrong way, like, that genuinely has been a blessing for sure. I have people like Alexis, who I met a couple years ago at the Black Women's Expo. And Alexis, it's so funny. She saw me at my booth. She walked past and she stopped and she was like, oh my God, I've been trying to get into preservation for the last 2 years and I cannot figure out how to do it. Are you going to help me? And I was like, yeah, I'll help you. And she was like, okay. And she wrote her name down and she circled and put a star by it. And she said, what's your number? Because we're going to stay connected. So she did that. And she struggled at first initially trying to get her contract with the primary vendor. She struggled with that. But Alexis just had her highest grossing month in June with $18,000 in revenue. Alexis works a full-time job too. And like I said, she struggled initially, and she definitely struggled before she and I met because no one would tell her how to put everything together or actually how to go out and get a contract. And then I have another person who's in my Facebook group. She's a pretty new addition, and she got a contract literally in record time. I think between her and this other young lady named Jillian, I think those two are about the fastest. Like, I didn't even get a contract that fast. It took me like 6 months to get mine, but they did it in a matter of weeks. And it came from executing, being prepared and being ready. Like, I made a post the other day about people being interested and, how I don't want to talk to people who are interested anymore. I don't need your interest. I don't need you to be interested in pretty much anything that I'm doing or offering or any of that, because interesting is not going to be enough to get you over the headache and the hurdles and the BS that's coming your way. Like, if you're just remotely interested in something, then when something bad comes your way, you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to try something else. This is not what I thought it was going to be. Let me exit stage left. And that's not just with this, that's with anything that you do. If you're not really devoting it all the way in, like when bad shit happens, because it's going to happen, when it happens to you, then you're not ready for it and you leave. I have another young lady who I know. She's actually a friend of mine. And we met years ago when she was doing something else. And she found out about that I was doing preservation. And she said, tell me about it. And we met for lunch. She said, I'm going to do that. And I looked at her face and I saw she was completely serious. She's a hustler. She gets shit done. She executes. She literally makes it happen. And she did. And so she and her husband, they've been working together. They're a great team. And they've had several $10,000 months in 2017 alone. Also doing the same work that I'm doing in the same state, one of the states that I'm working in. Then I have another guy. I had to throw the guy in there because people always think I only work with women, right? No, I work with, mostly women, but there's a few men too. And this guy, he's kind of a moving silence type of dude. He don't really say a whole lot. And it's funny because I emailed him last week and I said, hey, how's it going? He's like, oh, well, I did this and this. Specifically, well, I'll tell you what he said. He got it. He's an investor. I know he works with real estate investors. He invests in real estate, and he's also a real estate broker. And so he did the broker price opinion training, which I do offer, and basically shows you how to make money doing BPOs. You do have to be licensed to do them, but a BPO is basically an appraisal. I'll just put that out there. It's a shortened form of an appraisal, but only real estate brokers can do it. And so first month, $1,200. Second month, $4,800. So $6,000 in 2 months. That's not even his full-time job. Like, I wish I was making this up, but I'm actually not. So once you join the Facebook group, Women, Wealth, and Real Estate, you'll be able to see, like, you can talk to these people, inbox them, reach out to them, say, hey, what's going on? Like, how'd you do this? And most of them will tell you. So he did $6,000 in those 2 months. And then he told me something, which I thought was so funny. He said, I didn't think this was anything remarkable. I just thought everybody else was doing the training and following the steps and doing what you said. That's all I do. And I have this email. I'm actually going to print it and save it and like hang it on my wall. So because it's so funny. He was so matter of fact and so serious. Like, I just thought that's what everybody else was doing. Not to say that people are taking the training and not having, not applying it, but there are people who do that. Just like there are people who do that with anything else. They kind of hop from, industry to industry and from, multi-level marketing opportunity. They go from Paycation to 5 links, whatever the case may be. You got people out there like that. But for the ones who are coachable, follow the instructions, follow the blueprint, like, everything is out there. I put everything out there, and there ain't many people out here doing that. Like, I don't promise you, success in terms of your overall life, because I'm not here for that. That's not what I do. But if you want success in terms of transforming or changing your financial path, then I'm definitely the person that you should be working with. If you want to figure out how to get a contract to repair foreclosed properties, then I'm definitely the person that you should be talking to. If you want to figure out how to make money doing broker price opinions, then I'm definitely the one that you should be talking to. I did BPOs for years. I'm still doing them. Not as heavy as I used to, but I'm still doing them. And the most I made in 1 month doing BPOs was $8,000. Wouldn't recommend anybody do that because that was like insane. It took a lot out of me. But $2,000 or $3,000 a month, that's easy money. That's easy to do. And I say that because people, if I make a post or about it works or something like that, and I say, hey, who wants an extra $500 a month? People lose their shit. Like, everybody loses their mind. Like, oh my God, $500 a month. Not saying that's not a lot of money, but what I'm saying is, like, there's way more opportunity out there. I can tell you about 20 side hustles right now to make an extra $500 a month. Like, there's bigger and better and greater and grander things out there. And that's all I'm saying. So I just wanted to share this story with you all today because I was literally thinking about, sometimes I'm kind of like, oh, you should be doing more. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. You should be, at this point. But then I look back and I'm like, well, wait a minute, Danielle, wait a minute. Nobody even really showed you the way. Nobody laid out a blueprint or a path for you. Nobody did that for you. Not because they didn't care, but genuinely because nobody, I don't think, knew how to. And I think that's what a lot of us deal with, Black men and Black women. Like, people are not laying out the path because they don't give a damn. They just don't know how to do it. They literally just don't know how to do it. And so to the extent that I'm able to reach people and talk to people and say, do this, this works. Let me show you this works. Let me put you in touch with 10 people, who've done that in the past 60 days, who've had success. Let me let you talk to them so you can see that this works. Let me do that. That's what I do. That's what I'm offering. So again, I'm Danielle Pierce. For those of you who don't know, I'm the founder of Women, Wealth, and Real Estate. We have a phenomenal Facebook group. It's the best one for entrepreneurs, in my opinion, that's out there. I mean, there's a couple other great ones, right? But mine is definitely at the top. And it's because I encourage a community where people share and actually give information, memes, quotes, motivational things, all that is phenomenal. But really, I mean, at the end of the day, money matters and profit matters, and your ability to pay your bills on time, all of those things matter. So if you're interested in making money working with bank-owned properties and repairing them, join my Facebook group, subscribe at daniellepierce.com, and I'm here to help you. And then for those of you who are joining late, I basically just shared my story earlier about how I should be a statistic, but by the grace of God, yeah, God, luck, right? Which I think you make your own luck, and a whole lot of hard work and training my mind, still training my mind, y'all, to be perfectly honest at this point. It's a process. I saw a quote the other day and it said, you'll realize how difficult it is to change someone else when you try to think about how difficult it is to change yourself. And if you think about that, like everything makes perfect sense. Like it's extremely hard to figure out how you can, change your own behavior, let alone trying to change another whole human beings, right? So I just wanted to put that out there. Hopefully you all got value from the this broadcast. Again, like and share it if you haven't already. Join me at daniellepierce.com. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.